tiny piece of fish that if a chemical hits the water, it makes them sterile. And if they don't reproduce, it upsets the entire ecosystem.
That doesn't, I like to learn, is it disease or is it, you know?
I don't know. You guys ready? All right, we'll call the meeting to order with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Tony Biancardi,
Here.
Jim Constantine,
Here.
Larry Fabina is absent, Wilbur Aldman.
Here.
Daniel Marsh.
Here.
And we have Jeanette and Clay on Zoom. They're both connected.
All right, we have the approval of our April 2022 minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, we have a couple items under correspondence. There was a letter that Corinne copied to us about the repeal of utility tax receipts. And we are not a utility that is subject to those, so we don't need to worry about it. But thank you for providing the information so that we know, and that'll go in the record. So if there's ever a question in the future, we can reference back to that. The second is a refund request for someone who had a balance that moved. That's for Nicholas Reblin. So if we want to do that, we'll just need a motion to approve that refund in the amount of $122.25.
I make a motion to refund the money.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. We'll give it to Dan. Motion and a second to approve the refund. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, reports. Bill, anything you wanna talk about under yours?
No, nothing that you got the report on the flows, so unless you have questions for me on that.
Okay, anyone on the board have questions or comments about his report? Okay. Larry's not here tonight. Bill, have we reported at this board that you did clean and dump there? Like we had a successful, okay, so if you want to go ahead and do that real quick.
As you know, that we've been working with Cliffs very closely to work out the details. I've been staying really close in touch with Tony on that. And we had several Zoom meetings and finally got to the point to where we went out there and last minute we had to make some corrections, but we're dumping inside of a dewatering box, and the ramp we learned that needed to be a little bit higher, so little things, but other than that, everything worked out well. We dumped 3 loads, and the solids probably filled up. You know, it was hard to tell that day, and but I would say a quarter of the dumpster with the solids, as far as, you know, grease and things like that we sucked out that day. But it went really well. They were pretty happy with it. The dewatering system worked well. Each time we brought back a load, we were already down, and didn't affect the system at all. In fact, we talked to the operators. Sydney went in and checked in between the loads, and they said, we didn't even notice you guys were here. So it didn't affect the inflow too much to where they even saw it. So again, everything worked well, and the hardest part was getting in the plant, which is just ongoing battle with security. But
So will there be any cost savings now that we can dump there, or, because was any other places charging us to
yeah,
dump?
so we were paying per load that was going on our bill with Equal Services. So now we're just going to continue to pay the solids like we do already for the plant. So
Okay,
yeah, we're saving that and time. I mean,
Yeah.
I've gone from 2 days to 1 day now.
right.
Or not cleaning all my lift stations because I couldn't get the truck for the second day or whatever, but we got through all of them in 1 day, and yeah, we won't have that charge. It's a lot faster because, you know, sometimes we would try to dump at South Haven, well, then they stopped it Then they were driving to East Chicago, and then they stopped it, then they were driving to Gary. So a lot of times, half of my day of cleaning was travel, you know, and we were being charged for that the whole time, so absolutely, yeah. So definitely a lot better, and now it's just a matter of calling them in advance to say, hey, we're gonna be bringing some out just as a courtesy, and we know the system now, and they should have the ramp built up, so that'd be better next time, and hopefully we can just continue to work.
And how
forward.
many times a year will we do this?
I try to do it once a quarter, so
Okay, so 4 times a
4
week.
times a year.
Look at how, we're using Eagles, soccer truck,
yes.
and what are they charging us?
Well, this is new for us here, but typically it's about 1,500, 2,000.
I think it was 19 something
Yeah.
just last time,
So
1952.
yeah, per time, so $2,000 per time for the day. So. But that cost doesn't outweigh us ever owning one to me.
Yeah, but you had insurance
Yeah,
and maintenance and
maintenance on one of
storage.
those back
and
trucks
then
are-
where we can park it, yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, well, I'm glad we finally reached this. As you know, we've been working on this for a while, so
Yeah.
this was a huge milestone for us, I think.
All right, Jeanette, do you have anything for us?
No report.
All right, thank you. Old business, Bill, has anything popped up that you can think of under future infrastructure needs? I know the trailer is gonna come up under claims, so that's there. We have all the pumps now.
Yep.
We were noting that,
Pumps are in, we're gonna be switching a couple of those out here real soon. We've been waiting for the weather to stabilize, so we gotta shut the system down at those lift stations for a few minutes. The only thing to answer your question that I was working a little bit with today, in between was the correspondence from, wow, it just went out of my head. The trucking firm, in the secretary,
CIT.
and where the tap ends at and where it goes. And as you know, that tap ends about, at the middle portion of the property of, Campland.
okay,
So the only consideration is them getting to our tap, because then the other tap runs on the east side of Pilot. So they're kind of in between in a dead zone. So I'm not sure how they're gonna want to address that yet, or what their plans are, or how far out we are on that.
they're gonna go to one of those though, right?
Yeah. So obviously it's gonna have to be through a force main. They're gonna have to pump it to us, to that gravity, which is the same thing that Pilot is actually doing. They're pumping because of the degreasers and all that,
Mhm.
and they're gonna fall subject to that as well. So, of the type of business they are, so. So just started that today. It
Okay.
came in while I was gone and got working on that, sent them an email, some mapping and stuff like that, so. That's the only thing that I could think of, Tony, that other than what we had talked about in the
Sure.
past.
Right. New business, I think it was our plan, Larry was gonna bring some dates for the Cleveland Cliff Tour, and he's not here this evening, so we'll just hold on to that till next month and try to coordinate that. Under the approval of claims tonight, we also have a PO from Bill, for a 6x12 enclosed trailer that he's talked about for the sewer camera equipment. I see you got some quotes, Bill, if you wanna say anything about these.
So there's a couple cheaper ones in there as well. If you look at, and I can make it work, depending on what
Yeah,
the board
I have
wants.
copies of some of them.
The Campland ones, not Campland, R&B, sorry. Theirs are, the one I kind of put a little note on there myself to scribble, you see. They all write handwritten quotes, but the ramps on a 6x10 trailer, that one has a ramp on it. It doesn't really have the cargo doors. I do like the idea of the 6x10. Unfortunately, you cannot, I've called all over the place, even down to Shipshawana. Cargo doors right now are like the hard thing to get, like everything else, manufacturers slow on everything. But that's a ramp. And it does not have any venting in it, where these other two do. And then the 6x12 here has, venting, oh, sorry, no venting in it, and the interior was not finished. So when you look at the price difference, that's why I felt that the one at Valpo trailer was a better value for us, because it's finished already with the plywood on the inside, and the carpet doors are finished. And this also has the vent system in it, so here, especially when we're talking about sanitation, and we're gonna have a camera.
What additionally are you gonna have to do this to be ready to use it for
A
your?
lot of it's gonna be woodwork, like we'll have to mount the camera system so it doesn't move. We wanna put a bench with a large screen in there, a TV screen. We're gonna need to put a generator on the tongue of it to power everything. Next to that, I mean, running electrical outlets and stuff, which we're gonna try to do a lot of that ourselves.
Yeah, so like how much more of an expense do you expect?
Price to tell me, the generator, I'm gonna guess is probably $1,500, roughly. And then probably another 2,000 in equipment, as far as wood and electrical and stuff like that.
TV screen
Yeah.
and all that. So all in all, somewhere right around 10,000 probably for the whole thing.
And coincidentally, I did price one that's already custom built for this, for cameraing. And actually I got some pictures and didn't print them off. But they're actually running about $15,000-$20,000 all set up. So, obviously, we're gonna try to do it as I don't like to use the word cheap, but moderate as possible. We just want it to be operational. It's something that I think is gonna, one, make the longevity of our camera a lot better versus taking it in and out. And as far as the setup, you're gonna pull up, literally pull the camera out, and start operating it.
And you have room to store this in the garage?
Yeah, the building commissioner is gonna have to
Not from the truck there?
not park his truck there, but we talked about that.
Yeah,
I mean, we can probably squeeze them in there if we need to.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be, obviously, we had two bays, one whole side of the bay open still.
Yeah.
So again, like I said,
I make a motion and we, try to figure out how we're, allot $10,000 to go towards a trailer and whatever is necessary to equip the trailer for the purpose we need it.
okay. Corinne, I was gonna ask, does it need to be specific to this PO? So would it be better to say a motion to purchase the 6x12 trailer for $57.25 and then additional expenses not to exceed a total of 10,000?
Probably.
Are you okay with that, Jen?
That's where I make the motion.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Second it.
All right, so there's a motion and a second to purchase the 6x12 trailer that is on the PO. And then additional expenses to outfit it so that the total does not exceed 10,000. Okay. We had a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. You can just initial that. Okay, so that's fine.
yeah, like I said, just to clarify with you, we're gonna do as much of that work as we can ourselves,
Sure.
as far as wiring and stuff like that.
Robert knows how to nail some boards together for you.
Before he leaves.
Before he leaves.
Don't smile.
Well, thank you guys, because that's gonna make it a lot easier as far as setting up. Speaking of which, I'll talk about that in just since I'll shut up.
Okay, we also have the approval of the claims.
Make a motion to approve claims.
Second,
A motion and a second to approve claims. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We also have our spending review, delinquencies, and flow report. Any questions on any of that? Dan did mention earlier, we have spent quite a bit of our budget already this year, noting that the equipment that was purchased in March were all of those new pumps. all the flows are working, and is your SCADATA and all that working now?
So actually, I have, that's what I was gonna
Oh,
talk about.
okay.
I'll talk about it.
Well, we're almost halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's no more heavy expenses.
Jim, that's so crazy to say we're almost halfway through the year.
It's true though.
It is, that's crazy, it's crazy. All right, good of the order of the community. Go ahead.
No, so there's a couple things I wanted to bring you guys up to. So we had a call today that I went out and investigated for a possible sewer issue. Went out there, I don't believe it's going to be an issue, it's gonna be similar, I believe, to what we had over at Cronin's Landing, where it might have something to do with a breach from a utility company on a lateral. But we haven't got that far yet. While doing it, I did see that the line is now needing cleaned on Carroll Street, where it's flat. We have the bond for, or the maintenance, so I am in contact, and we're gonna try to do that tomorrow morning possibly. So we're gonna get out first thing in the morning and hang those tags, because if not, it'll be Friday. Because that's real flat, and that's the one that would get the water in people's bathrooms and stuff. So we have hanging tags to hang up, so we'll get them notified first thing in the morning. And then hopefully get that cleaned, and then we're gonna camera that system just to assure that it is not a problem that we have. Again, I don't suspect it is. The driveway is sinking and collapsing almost all the way up by their house. So that tells me it's a lateral issue. But I did, when we opened that manhole up, I did see quite a bit of sand in there, which tells me that somebody is leaking into our system through a lateral. What we have experienced in the past, obviously besides the bore through, we have also experienced some of those homes in that subdivision, displacement of the Fernco, where it hooks to the house from not being compacted well enough. So we're in the process of investigating that now, and I've been in contact with, I tried to contact the homeowner today, but we can't find a phone number for her, and when they took the message, we did not get the number, so I will knock on her door first thing in the morning to give her an update and see where we go from there. So that takes care of that part. And then, like I said, I'm working with the trucking company and giving them their information that they need. And then I just wanted to know, I know it's off the beaten path, but since a majority of my salary comes from here, I did attend the MS4 conference and workshop for the town on the town's behalf. You guys have asked me to make sure that I report that. I did turn in my expenditures and stuff for that as well. But it was a very good conference for us. Opened my eyes up a lot to what we're going to be experiencing. And that I have CE hours that I have to keep for that now as well. So, just want to let you guys know that I did attend that for 2 days, right when I got back from vacation. So, yeah.
Okay, any other good of the order? No announcements except our next meeting will be June 15th.
I have one. Well, July will probably be my last meeting.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Okay, so you'll be here for July?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, but you say probably, so do you want July to be your last one?
Yeah.
Text or something?
Yeah, I think so. I think it should.
Okay, can you ask Jane to put on the council agenda for June? Anyone who's interested in sitting on sanitary, a resident?
Okay, you want for what, a stormwater too? Or do you have someone in mind for stormwater?
Can be the same person or different, it doesn't matter.
You moving or something?
We are. Yeah. Move South Dakota.
Good move. Hey, South Dakota is nice.
My husband would go there. He'd have to leave me behind, but he'd go there.
It's nice.
All right, so if we can do that in June, then we'll have up till August to fill that seat, but we still have a majority because I appreciate everyone always coming on Wednesday night for our meeting, so.
You
All right.
ever near Deadwood, South Dakota? Gotta go there.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
Motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Oh, we'll be on the other side.
So that's how it's done, huh?
You should come back for this one more often.
I'm just like, all right, okay, so that's how that works.
That would about.
Uh-huh.
All right.